Papa Squat, coming at ya. Hey everybody, Friday night. Hooray, hooray. Let me move something around on my desktop here that I just oh, this is not it. Where did it go? I am very confused. I guess I'll look in a minute. I don't know what happened to it. So I got a recommendation from someone to do a song by this fella, Conejo, I believe is what his name must be pronounced like. And it turned out to be kind of interesting. So I looked into this a little bit. And this is the About section on Spotify for Conejo. He did not have, at least as far as I found, hello kitten, he did not have a Wikipedia page. However, Jose Martin, better known as Conejo, is a rap artist and cultural figure in his native Los Angeles who has released over 100 albums. In the late 1980s, Conejo began crafting music alongside Black Eyed Peas DJ Motivate and continued the relationship through the early 90s. His music helped paint a picture of the harsh reality of the lives of young gang members in inner-city Los Angeles. And while Conejo's music didn't glamorize gang culture, the vivid depictions of his life presented deeply relatable stories that rapidly attracted supporters of his music. Unfortunately, the life Conejo was rapping about was still very much a reality at the time, leading him to become a fugitive of the law for the next 15 years. Keep in mind, he's released 100 albums, so he, I'm sure, was still producing music during that time. In 2016, the MC was captured and extradited back to the United States, where he found himself fighting a myriad of wrongful felony charges and the death penalty. So I don't know what happened there. I actually didn't get a chance to look it up to find out what had happened, because the very next paragraph says, shortly after his release, so he must have been convicted of something. This says it was wrongful felony charges. I have no idea if that's the case. I just find it absolutely remarkable that he's made 100 albums. He was on the run for 15 years. He was in jail for some amount of time, or prison. Shortly after his release, longtime friend and famed film director David Ayer, who directed Fury and End of Watch, both of which I have absolutely heard of, offered Conejo a starring role alongside Shia LaBeouf, and yeah, he's an interesting guy. And George Lopez in the Los Angeles crime thriller The Tax Collector, releasing August 7th. I don't know if that's accurate. It sounds like this was maybe from a few years ago. The chance opportunity granted him another gig as the role of Oscar in the Fox series The Deputy. With a new leaf on life, Conejo launched his clothing line, Bonnaroo, as well as his record company, The Sinister Kingdom Music. Holy crap. Also, this information was posted by Conejo, or maybe somebody working for him. Super interesting. And obviously, musically talented, gifted guy. Very, very interested in hearing what his music is like. I'm sure, well, I listened to a little bit of it. Cat, leave the mic alone, please. And it's definitely what I would... It sounds like gangster rap. Like, it's very harsh, in the streets kind of thing, gunshots, and, you know, that sort of feel to it. But let's listen to it, because somebody recommended it, and I think it's going to be kind of interesting, because, again, we've got an artist here who knows what he wants to say, knows what he's talking about, knows what he wants to communicate to people. Hi, kitten. And he just went out and did it, 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 and did it 100 times, more than 100 times, because that's 100 albums. So if there's, who knows, between 4 and 20 songs on an album, absolutely incredible output. Yeah, there you go. So let's blow up the screen here and make sure the volume is a little higher than that, and let's give this a listen. I also did, oh, that's what I was looking for. I did have the lyrics for this, which I will try to find as we're doing this. Here we go. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Little Hispanic sound there.
That's what I'm about to do. It's for the real motherfuckers putting it down on the block. Ain't no turning back. HPF, the Unforgiven. He got something to say. Homie, it was high noon at the Poppy Saloon when I stepped out and lit that chronic joint. It should point the Glock 9, drop 2 of your boys. She's died. All end up
Sorry, I don't think I said. This is called The Unforgiven.
in jail. It's the case from the homies penitentiary mail. No one to trust. These wicked women deceive. The feds watch us and automatic receive. Terrorists. They from the city of angels. Bitches all up on the dick, so we got to battle. You assume because I grew up with nothing. Age 13, I started conducting robbery, burglary, grand theft, and arson. Drug deal, gotta eat, gotta roll, no pardon. That's venom. In the front, just pull.
Yeah, so he's talking about exactly some of the things we've talked about before. He had nothing. He was a young kid, 13 years old, had to start dealing drugs. Again, assuming all of this is true and he's not just telling a story, I don't know for sure. But it's a common enough story, and he absolutely is, representing that kind of, I don't want to say lifestyle, that kind of life, like where he came from, where he grew up, what people were dealing with at the time. Had to survive, had to make money, and that's the way you do that in that area, and in a lot of areas, and so absolutely.
Tiny logos, 25th control, the Unforgiven. The Unforgiven. The Unforgiven. The Unforgiven. Motherfuckers better listen, I got something to say. I drop an H-bomb, and settle shop in the building. The fiends started coming, so we making a killing, and I'm willing to go to war for the spot. Undercover ATF sending local cops, shots fired, and one of them went down. I scored a point for the hood, so I blazed the pound, and still I come right and serve on sight. With my LA blue cap and my all white nights, you in a trance. I'm in a Kempo stance, feel 4-5 slug in a.
That's funny. You in a trance, I'm in a Kenpo stance, which is a martial art stance. Kenpo, is that I think it's sword training, actually. I think that's right. But yes, I found the lyrics here, and I like his writing and I like his delivery. This is one of those songs that's, I mean, it's a realistic song, right? Or that's the intention, is it's supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be telling people about what life is like for him, or was like for him, or is like for so many people, and especially in the 90s in LA. Talked the other day, I think on the, you haven't probably seen it yet, but the Tupac video, the Rodney King beating and murder, and the acquittal of the officers in that, and just sort of what came out of that, and that's the sort of life he's talking about.
Fucking flashes with a camping. I'll put your ass in a casket. Enemies wide through and have your crew get blasted. You shit get jacked. It's it on that thief. That G5 Mac and that stash of weed. That's greed for my addictive needs. See your wings stab the track till your headphones bleed. The Unforgiven.
Good lyrics.
The Unforgiven.
I like this part too.
The Unforgiven. The Unforgiven. Motherfuckers better listen, I got something to say. I'm the boss of boss, it's not a fucking stranger. When it's música asesina, then you know it's a banger. Live there, fuck with the criminal gangs. Sometimes it was good, sometimes we're bad. Dead rappers, and still I ain't done. Known to kill with intrigue under the scorching sun. I'm on wolf, out the chamber of death. See locals rolled up and put a strap to your hip.
I like the sound effects and different things they're putting in here too, especially the it kind of sounded like a sword, but it might have been like a gun sound or something, that ching sort of sound. Bullets and things like that, whatever. I think they're fine as accents in music, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. But other stuff, like other sounds and things like that, I think is really cool. And I understand why he's using bullet sounds, but it's just,
I'm a badass kid, kingpin in the hood. You slip up once and I'll do you like Suge. Straight punk, you.
Oh!
This my G.
You slip up once and I'll do you like Suge. That's not so nice.
Raps, on my back on the scene instead of peel more cash. Cause I'm in too deep, I'm on the run with guns. It's important as I copy, I'ma die as one. Harsh times, and never fail with yay. It's the 36 souls of that chicken and king. The Unforgiven.
Really like this phrase.
The Unforgiven.
Trying to figure out what that that clip is from there that they played. It kind of sounded like Vincent Price, but I don't think it was. Vincent Price is the guy who did a lot of horror movies, and he had a very distinctive, very kind of creepy voice. He's the guy that Michael Jackson used in Thriller. Super interesting guy, but I don't know if that was him for sure, and I don't know what the quote's from or exactly what he said. Oh, end of song. Okay. I thought there might be a little more music or something like that. Yeah, this is a good song. This is not a song that I would listen to over and over. Oh, yeah, the image did move over the course of the video. That's kind of funny. But yeah, the guy has a story to tell, and I think it's fantastic that that we're capable now in America and the world, really, to have somebody who wants to put out music, who wants to do something creative, artistic, and all they have to do is do it and get it out there. Obviously, it helps if you have some talent, you have some musical ability, you can write, you can rap, whatever it is you want to do, especially if it's a audio or visual thing, you can do it online, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, 100 albums. That's just remarkable. I would like to hear more by him, because this song doesn't appeal to me, but in 100 albums, I'm sure he's gone through really a fascinating progression from his earliest stuff to even a couple years later, and a couple years later, and his 20-some, 30, I don't know, a ton of years of work. So I bet he's super interesting to have been a fan of for a long time. Cool stuff. I really like some of the music in this. That was really neat. And I like the way it was put together. I think there's a lot of great stuff here. Pretty cool. Send me if you know this guy's stuff. Send me like a fun song by him if he has anything like that. Like not quite so down and dirty and like realistic and talking about life on the streets sort of thing. I want to see what he can do with something that's a little lighter, and maybe I'll look too. But yeah, I would like to see that, and I will listen to other stuff by him, because 100 albums, like I said, the journey from song 1 to song 1000 must be super interesting. Papa Squat, check it out. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for the recommendation. I will be doing another song tomorrow. Have yourself a good night. Adios. And a good weekend.